that 10%. I know it's 10% for China, for American goods to China, but I thought it was 30.
Well,
I'm starting to show
means reciprocal tariffs.
Yeah, but we're almost. We just got to get the other screen
cut from
muted here.
125 to 10. Here, let me send you the article.
Yes,
There you
please.
go.
That'd be great.
Okay, here we go. Okay, we're muted up here. Okay, folks, here we go. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1, and welcome in for DroneNation for May 12th, 2025. The Mavic 4 Pro pre-show, like the football games, like the Bill Steelers have a pre-show every Sunday, and DeMarco's Bears have a pre-show. We have our own pre-show for the Mavic 4 Pro. And just a couple things I want to get off the top here. Our special guest tonight is Bill, the drone reviewer, and we will all be on the launch party tomorrow morning for the Mavic 4 Pro, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, whatever, pretty early for Marcus DeMarco. Can you be part of that show tomorrow? Or are you busy with the kids?
I'll be at the barbershop, but I'll, Sunday
get on from your phone a little bit.
Pop up, yeah.
Yeah, good. Did
you say lunchtime or launch time, Ron?
Well, I probably had lunch on the brain.
But you kind of got me excited talking about lunch.
But the launch is 8. Don't come at lunch because they'll be over. And then we'll have a final recap of the day's events tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Bill the Drone Reviewer's channel. So it's going to be a busy day for everybody. And a couple notes I want to get out of the way here. I don't know how you even have to show this. I want to send a hearty, warm and hearty happy birthday to our old dear friend Michael DeCurcio. I won't call him by his nickname anymore. I'm only going to refer to him as Michael DeCurcio, but it is his birthday today. So wherever you are, Mikey,
happy birthday, Michael.
And happy belated Mother's Day to everybody. I saw DeMarco posted some pictures yesterday, I think in the van or the car with Shelly and the kids.
And Auntie. I saw some pictures of Auntie.
Okay.
She's coming, actually. She's coming.
Okay.
Saturday.
So it was a good Mother's Day yesterday?
Yes. We got a lot done at the house. Like, we didn't do anything special. Maddox had baseball, so
okay.
It was good.
Good. And I think the rest of us here, our mothers have passed. So
same here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. True. Okay. And one other thing I want to say, congrats to Pope Leo, the first Pope from the U.S. And DeMarco, if I understand correctly, he's not only from Chicago, but he's from the South Side. And he's a White Sox fan.
Yes. So he's actually from Dalton, Illinois. Dalton is just north of where I was born at, actually. So it's the south suburb. It's technically not the city, it's the suburbs.
Okay.
But yes, he's a White Sox fan. Great. Yeah. Good.
And also, he has ties to New Orleans. He has Creole in his blood. I think his father's side, whatever. In fact, when I heard about the new Pope, I thought they were saying he's from Louisiana, and they said about Pope, I thought it was Giant Drone Flyer, because he has, he's from Louisiana, New Orleans area, and Pope John sounds like a real good. That sounds like a perfect
Pope Johnny the
right?
First. Pope Johnny the First, yeah.
Or John. Well, John has to be sound biblical, John, but Pope John the First, yeah.
Johnny sounds biblical to me. I don't
know. They would be having crawfish boils inside the Vatican.
I tell you what, I told John if I was a Cardinal, I would have voted for him.
Absolutely.
No, the guy they have a whole bunch of Cardinals that vote the new Pope at the conclave.
I'm thinking the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to turn the show to Catholicism because I'm not a Catholic and I know very little about all that stuff. But there it is. So not going too deep down in religion here. So let's get right to the big event here. Now I'm going to show this video first here. This came out last Tuesday morning, and Bill showed it on the show last week, but we didn't have it yet to show. So we're gonna show this thing here. It's called "Spin Your World," and as Marcus said, it's a real teaser. You got to watch faster. Can you see that, guys?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
Wow.
How'd you
I
like
blinked,
that?
I missed it.
Yeah.
You blink, you
Yeah.
miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ben, can I play it? I don't know if I can play it again. Hold on. Here we go. Well, I should put it in slow motion.
So Ron, one of those videos that you posted on YouTube today, I noticed that the guy said you could take the right-hand scroll wheel and you could use that to adjust the spin of the camera.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
did you guys see Osita Labs? Did you guys see Osita Labs video?
No.
Okay. He had the RC Pro 2. He turned the controller, and guess what happened?
They're
Flips the
synchronized.
It flips, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty neat stuff. Yeah.
This
I
is
hesitate when you said that, Bill, because I watched so much of this stuff on the Mavic 4, so many leaks, I can't even keep up and remember all of them.
Well, you know what I found out today was there's a very strong rumor that the RC Pro 2 will work with the Air 3S and the Mini 4 Pro.
There is, and that's one of our stories coming up.
Yep.
Here. So,
Yep.
Okay, I teased everybody with that Mavic for the spin your world, but we're going to get off the Mavic for a minute here. I want to kind of get this out of the way. We'll never get to it. This is kind of the budget drone segment of the show. A couple of our fans,
the DeMarco section.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is our budget drones, and we're talking about the Ruko U11Mini 4K drone. We talked about it a couple weeks ago in the show here, and it's out now, and it has all the standard specs you would expect at this price point: 4K 30, 3-axis gimbal, GPS that could go a long way, and it starts at $249 for a standard package. It can go up higher, of course, for the fly more. But Alien Drones, he did his review, and I had the link in here. I have the Amazon link if you want to go over and look at it. It's not an affiliate link. And I have his Alien Drones review of it. And it seemed to do pretty good at first, but he saw some real strange behavior in the app during his test flight. Like at some points, the app was just shutting down on him, and it did it more than once. And at one point, it was showing some kind of a video that he never asked for it to show. It just started playing like a video of a part of the flight or whatever. So it seemed a little bit wonky. Now, Marcus, you have some experience with these Ruko drones.
Yeah, in fact, they're actually sending me that drone for a review. So I really don't know much about it yet, other than I'm sure looking forward to reviewing it. So, and I did, Ron, after I spoke to you, I watched Alien Drones video on it, and he did see some interesting things. It looks to me like it's kind of the typical Amazon bargain drone. I think there was no surprises, I think, in what he saw there. Seemed to fly pretty good. So yeah, I'm anxious to get my hands on it.
And I had one more thought on that, and I already forget what something that he said. But either DeMarco or Bill, have you seen anything on this Ruko U11 drone?
No, I haven't.
How much is it, Marcus? $249 or
$249 for a base kit? Yeah,
$249. It says 6 kilometer range. It says 8K photos, 4K video, under 250 grams. 3-axis brushless gimbal, innovative remote control. The remote RC looked a lot like a DJI RCN controller. Mm-hmm. Rich features. Now the features on it, I think, were kind of typical of some of those drones. Nothing really too.
It did have GPS tracking and waypoints.
Which
you don't get on DJI budget drones.
Yeah, although the GPS tracking, Ron. Well, yeah, GPS tracking. It also had optical image tracking, but the image tracking is just like a cameraman view. The drone doesn't follow you. It just, and it really didn't even do that good a job of keeping you in center of frame. So,
well, he made the point though that I agree with him that the optical tracking or whatever, like it loses you so often when you go under any trees or whatever. Like really the GPS trackings. I mean, especially if you're holding the control yourself or whatever, the GPS track is probably a better option if you want to stay tracked the whole time you're out there.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's situations with all of them, quite frankly. So
Yeah, I mean, if you're optical track, if you know, if you don't have the controller in your hand, then optical tracking is great.
yeah,
So, but anyhow, I don't want to go too deep in the woods on the Ruko. We'll talk about it more after you get it in, or we know a little bit more about it. But it's just an option for somebody that's looking to get, even come in above that, below that $300 mark that we talk about so much for a lot of the drones. This one seemed to check all the boxes that the $300 drones check.
yeah.
So,
I'm sure that there's some people out there saying, "Oh, I never buy a DJI drone," when they see this and they
yeah.
jump on it.
It's a lot of anti-DJI people out there. Yeah.
Mhm.
Even though a Mini 4K, which is priced at the same budget that some of these drones are, they still don't want to get it. That doesn't make any sense. Like, if you don't like DJI because they cost too much, but then you won't buy their budget drone.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we're going to get off of that now. I know we're boring everybody. So, there was a video that just popped up, I think, in the last 24 hours. And this was an early customer. Customers are getting this drone already in the last, say, 24 hours. They're not in the U.S., but in other parts of the world. And a customer already did like a little unboxing video. This is a real short video. He did. This isn't one of these, full unboxing videos here. So it's just play. I'm going to turn the sound down just in case it's got something that, got some music in it, going to get us in trouble. Okay, so obviously here it is, the drone on this guy's table here. This guy with a small channel, this is somebody that's got, whatever, under 1,000 subscribers here. And I don't think he's speaking English anyway, so it doesn't matter that we don't have the sound. So he's showing how to unfold. I don't know why he just doesn't do it. And see, he got the standard controller with his package. He didn't get that fancy controller that Bill alluded to a few minutes ago. So there's that gimbal. Look at that gimbal go. Look at that baby spin. And there's his live FPV feed on his controller. Yeah, that kind of looks the same. Oh, look, he spun it on the side there. Oh, he did vertical video on the side. And that kind of looked kind of standard there, right?
Yeah, so that's where he's spinning the camera with that.
Okay. Oh yeah, look, there you go.
Yeah, with that.
If you don't have even if you don't have that fancy controller, you just spin it with that wheel, as Bill talked about.
Yeah, as soon as he tips it up, though, it wouldn't work. So it has to be horizontal for that to spin.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't even like you hold it.
Yeah,
but it's working.
That's amazing.
Yeah, this one seems to be all about the gimbal, doesn't it?
Yeah. And it's nice that you can do. You don't need that the expensive controller. You could do all that stuff with our beloved DJI RC2 controller.
Yeah.
So there's a function button.
Oh, there's a function button too. That's cool.
Yeah, they've had the double function buttons actually. Well, I think once you usually set the cruise control out of the box, right? One of the function buttons.
Oh yeah. Those function buttons are yeah. There's a bunch of different options.
So like I said, this is a unboxing video from somebody that's not in the U.S. and somebody that got the drone, not a reviewer.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me stop that screen there. So lost DeMarco there for a second. So, Bill, any thoughts on that that early unboxing from a customer that could receive?
Well,
early?
we saw the the standard controller with that comes with a fly more right there. That's not the RC Pro 2, obviously. And the controller looks the same as like the Air 3S and every other ones. It looks the same. Antennas look like they point up on that. The controller looks standard on that. The size of the Mavic 4 Pro looks very similar to the size of the Mavic 3 Pro. I mean, from what I can see with that, as far as like, I would say like the dimensions, I wouldn't say like the gimbal is huge. Gimbal looks huge. I mean, that gimbal is like everything on that drone. I mean, it really is just, it's the dominant feature. You can see it
Bill,
right
it's set
away.
the Guinness Book of World Record for gimbals.
It might be seriously, but I'll tell you what, just from having watched that, all right, I can tell you this, people see that video, they're going to go out and buy this. Okay. Cause I'm like, that gimbal, I mean, it's just like, oh, just he did this and it's going, wow. I mean, the shots that you can take with that, and then you can tell your friends, I was flying straight and normal the whole time. They go, yeah, right. How are you going to get a shot like that? And I'm like, well, it's because this gimbal does amazing things. And that's why, you could film like a Top Gun Maverick kind of video with something like that. I mean, the sky's going to be the limit with this. This is going to be a fun drone. Seriously, a fun drone.
We may have to rename the show again, Gimbal Nation.
Gimbal Nation. Yeah, it may come to that. Seriously. I mean, that looks like, I mean, seriously, that's capital F, fun with an F on that one. I am like, wow. That very impressed.
DeMarco, your thoughts on with that unboxing video, what we saw there?
It's pretty cool. Like no one saw that coming. Like we always talk about, oh, what's next? No one, at least I don't hear someone say that. With the gimbal spinning like that, I think it'd be cool at first, and then like we're gonna see a whole bunch of videos of people doing it, and then after a while, people will stop doing it. Then,
DeMarco, you're exactly right. Tomorrow morning, whenever the videos go up or whatever, we'll see that spin move so many times that you'll never want to see it again.
Yeah. But hey, I mean, hey, it's sort of like when what was that feature came out? What is it? Quick Shot? Was it Asteroid? Like we used to see that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But hey, I think it's pretty cool. They did it again. Every time they come out with something, they always surprise us. So
true. Marcus, we talked about this a little bit in the phone today about this new gimbal and stuff like that, and you were kind of impressed by it.
Well, again, Ron, you and I talked about, hey, being able to move up, shoot up, and so forth. Well, I've got a Parrot drone back here that will do that same thing, that can look straight up. I think the best part of some of those gimbal modifications is that it should allow the drone to pitch steeper, and then the camera can still look straight ahead. And one of the limitations on a lot of drones to their top speed and so forth is that if they pitch really steeply, the camera would be looking at the nose of the drone.
We don't want that gimbal bump either.
Yeah, and the gimbal bump and so forth. And think of this, they have to put strong enough motors in that gimbal to be able to keep it steady, which is no small thing. And so evidently they've achieved that, so it'll be good. But like you said, the spin move, we're going to see about a bazillion. It's creative and it's fun. I like it. But as you know, we're going to see about a bazillion videos with that in there. So, in fact, Ron, you and I have seen that on portable cell phone gimbals for a long time.
And even full frame camera gimbals have had that spin
exactly, where they would do that spin, and it's kind of like, okay,
but not in the air. This will be
kind of like the Matrix. Yeah,
it'd be more spectacular from the air. Bill, did you see Lauren's comment up there about the drone tomorrow?
Yeah, and I posted right after that. I said, you're going to need piggy banks, multiple piggy banks.
That's pretty cool.
Now, I just dropped a link in the chat for Ocetaleb's video that shows the when you turn on the RC Pro 2, when you turn the controller, it turns the gimbal or turn the screen.
Yeah.
It'll turn the gimbal.
I think I may have that, but if I don't, I'll figure out how to get that going here. So maybe here it is. We'll move on to story number 3 here. The new DJI RC Pro 2 is rumored to have 2,000 nits.
Oh,
and that's up from 1,200 for the current Pro, and sell for $1,000. and that's down from the current RC Pro. And it also is rumored to work with the Air 3S that Bill alluded to earlier, and the Mavic 4 Pro, because they're both OcuSync 4 drones. And this will, of course, be OcuSync 4 or 4 Plus compatible with the new Mavic 4 Pro. The sad fact is, according to also the rumors, that won't show up. Well, they say next week. It is next week. It won't show up tomorrow. That this Pro controller won't be available until June. Again, it's all rumors, unconfirmed. And I got a little link here from our good friend Jasper Ellens. Jasper, let's see here. Okay, can you guys see that? I'm gonna try to.
Yep.
I didn't mean to do that. Hold on, I hit the wrong button here. I want to go back. Anyhow, he's saying here that in that range is too small. He's saying it will be very popular for professionals. That's the Pro. I think the leaked specs tell you why. With 2,000 nits, it blows any RC2 or RC Pro away. But will people also spend $1,000 to use it with their Air 3S and Mini 4 Pro? So,
Yeah, I would.
And there's a real good picture of it there. So, for somebody like, Marcus and I, who own those other 2 drones, we would pick up this and it would work with basically probably at some point our 3 main drones, right then?
I absolutely agree, Rod.
Well, see, here's something that you could, if I can extrapolate here for a second. Let's say, you don't have an Air 3S or you don't have a Mini 4 Pro, you could buy the drone only, okay, and maybe a drone with battery. You don't even need a controller, and you buy that. Yeah. That's wow. Okay.
Yeah. You can't buy the drone alone usually when the drone's new, but since those drones are older now, they typically are available as a standalone item. So good point, Bill. And I don't know if it was in here or Igor said it, but somebody was saying, when that controller, the screen's pushed down, and when you lift it up, not only do the sticks come up, but the controller turns on automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
and that's also rumored to be for the Mavic 4 Pro. Marcus, I don't think you were a big fan of this feature on the little.
I turned it off on the flip, and I would do
flip, but it supposedly has that too.
Yeah, I don't want to, when I unfold it, have it turn on automatically.
But you have the option to turn that off.
No,
right?
I understand why some people might like that, but personally, I didn't. Hey, Ron, let me ask you real quickly. So you're saying that this could be delayed. Do you think any of the influencers actually have this in their hand right now, and tomorrow we'll see videos with not this controller and, quite frankly, even the drone?
I would say there's a chance
that the U.S. based influencers.
Yeah, I would say there's a chance. Some influencers, maybe not the U.S., but some influencers will have an early, prototype of this. And those rumors maybe not true. But that other little video, the unboxing, that guy didn't have this controller, so maybe that's telling us something.
Right, could be.
So
well, here's another thing, and this is just a guess, and it's just I'm kind of guessing here. Tomorrow morning, I think if it's available, it's only going to be available with the Big Daddy. I'll call it the Big Daddy package. Whatever they're calling it now, because it's not called the Fly More. It's a step of this step, the creator combo or whatever it's called. I think it's only going to be available with that. I think you probably won't be able to buy it a la carte maybe until June. That's what I think. Because I think that's what they did, is they dedicated so many to the creator combos that they won't have it available like a la carte until June. That's just a wild guess.
Right, that makes sense.
I just got a confirmation that some U.S. based influencers have it.
Okay, the RC Pro too.
Hey, look at.
Yeah.
Ken, yes, we will use your link tomorrow. Marcus, did you see that?
Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, that's another confirmation then, right there.
Yeah, Ken.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Here's another little thing from Igor here. he talks about the RC Pro.
Oh, no.
too.
Hey, I see 51 drones posted too. Just see, he's saying the same thing.
Oh,
Use his
right.
link.
Yeah.
So does
Yeah.
Dobo and 51 drones.
Can we split up our order?
Yeah. Oh, I'll order the drone through one of their links and the controller through somebody else's link. Or whatever. Yeah. Split the profits here.
Yeah.
Our two favorite, probably the two reviews we're most looking forward to tomorrow, right?
There you go.
Yeah. So good old Igor here. He has, of course, like a kind of a publicity shot here of the drone and the battery hub and the controller. And he says 7-inch mini LED, which we're up from 5 inches now. Auto power on, which we just talked about. Swivel screen for vertical shooting, synchronizes with camera suspension. Bill talked about that already. Oh, here's one I think is going to be near and dear to Marcus' eye. DJI mic support for audio recording.
That's cool. Yeah.
So we don't,
read your mind, Marcus.
We won't have to do any hook the receiver module up to the controller. It'll just kind of like our Pocket 3 or our DJI Action 5. It'll just record right to the device. So
that's a big deal to me. I can tell you that. Yeah.
Oh, look what Bent Rail said.
What'd he say
about Lon and Billy? Lon and Billy probably testing it as we speak.
Probably so.
Guess what, Gary? Their videos are already done in the can. Their videos are all they're set.
It's already set to release at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
I just saw that Billy said he made a quick trip down to Miami. Did you see that post?
He already posted some pictures from the trip.
So there you go. Those were probably taken with the Mavic 4.
Yeah. Okay, it says an operating time of up to 4 hours. I have no idea how long the RC Pro 1 lasts. And has a built-in memory of 128 gigabytes. So that holds that controller can hold a lot of information, video and 4K video, in this case 6K video and photos. So
okay, so Ron, you just brought that up. 6K video, is that a big deal to you?
Only for the fact that I was shooting 6K on the main sensor, the one that doesn't zoom in well, doesn't
the wide angle.
And then I could crop in on the 6K a couple times and still be at 4K.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
because you
not that I plan on uploading any 6K video to YouTube.
Yeah, because you do a lot of real estate work, right, Ron? And so that would be handy for you.
Yeah, well, more for my own stuff because the real estate work is almost 99.9% pictures, and I just use the 3x telly to get it.
There you go.
Yeah. So let me get rid of. Let me try to get Bill's link here, which the million links behind here, and see if I can get that going here. It's going to take me 5 minutes to find Bill's link because it's 200 comments behind.
Bill, while Ron's looking for that, can you show us that Mavic 4 Pro? No, the one you got under your desk, Bill.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish. I can show you. This is my brand new Galaxy S10 Plus tablet. Which
there you go. There you
got that.
I thought sure you had that drone underneath the table there.
Well, here. Let me bring this up.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh yeah.
You'll have a little argument with. Are they a hockey team or I don't?
Florida Panther playing our hockey team.
So you'll have an argument with Bob Dempsey because.
Well, no, I'm actually rooting for his team.
Oh, are you?
And they scored. Listen to this. They scored a winning goal with 0.4 seconds left on the clock. I watched that game. It was amazing.
Well, last Friday with my Corvette, I had a red light foul by 1/100th of a second. So I can relate to those.
Yeah, 0.4. Wow.
But Bill, is it true the Florida Panthers are seconds away from being down 0-3?
No, they're down. They're tied 2-2. They beat,
but at one point they were
down 2-0.
They were seconds away from going down 0-3, right?
Yeah, they were. And they ended up winning, and they won in overtime, game 3, and then they won last night 2-0. So
Okay.
Game 5 is Friday night or Wednesday night. Game 6 is Friday night, and I hope my medication will be let me watch the game on Friday night because I have my surgeries Friday morning. So,
Ooh.
Okay, Bill, I'm ready. Can you guys see this?
yep.
I'm ready. I'm ready. This is Bill's link here from our good friend at Lab. I'm ready to roll it. Oh, look at that fancy.
There it goes. Yeah.
Very cool.
I've never used vertical video for anything other than demonstrating it in a drone video.
Wow.
I'm kind of the same way.
I guess we're the wrong generation for that. I'm
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we don't. Our followings doesn't live on Instagram and TikTok.
DeMarco probably uses it all the time.
I
vertical
use
video.
see, conversely, I use Instagram a lot, but I don't use it for what it's intended for. Like, for example, I'll put thumbnails out there about my upcoming videos all the time. And when I have in Rotor Talk, and I'll dump in the comment or in the title of it, I'll dump the URL, even though, and that's my big thing about Instagram. They don't, you can put URLs in there, but they're not active. So, that kind of a thing. But it's actually drawn traffic to my channel. So that's why I keep doing it.
Couple of comments here. I would like to answer Bill Grace. Bill, I surely wish. I wish. But then Alex Escardo underneath. I think that's a pretty interesting comment. And Ron, he's about the fourth one up.
I see Bill. Bill Grace. Oh no.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about Alex is here. Yeah. He's making a good point. I mean,
Doing Alex. Yeah.
so instead of just pushing that button or hitting it on the screen, okay, you're gonna flip. Okay, well, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, like it's more of a what's the saying we always say? It's more of a parlor trick. Turn that thing than anything else. So here's this is Jasper Ellens and one of those web stores over in Europe or someplace accidentally leaked all the specs from pictures and specs of the drone over the weekend. But the thing is here, I'm not going to read this verbatim because it's almost nothing in here spec wise that we didn't already know. I mean, it's such a leaked drone that this we heard all this stuff for. The only thing I talked about Marcus's pre-show, the only thing I saw that I never saw before, I'm going to scroll down here and see if I can find. Okay, the camera max image size, which is way down here. They talked about the Hasselblad camera, which that's the main 4/3 sensor. It said this is photos now. A single shot is 25 megapixels and 100 megapixels. We keep hearing about the 100 megapixels, but what we didn't know is the 25 megapixels. Now the base, the Mavic 3 right now, Mavic 3 Pro, the base photo is 20 megapixels, right? So we've got 5 more megapixels at the base than we did on the Mavic 3. Now that's not a huge gain. You probably want to see the difference, but that is, an upgrade. A lot of the Panasonic Micro Four Thirds cameras have 25 megapixels, or a lot of the OM or Olympus are more or less capped at the 20. But now I didn't do my math before. To get the 100 megapixels, if you quad bearing it, we go 4 times. That makes sense that it was a 25 to get to 100. So this is something I did not know before.
That's a good catch, Ron.
And one of the things about this, at least you have all the specs all in one place here. And this.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, I could read this whole thing off as nothing we haven't said before in the show. So anybody, the links here, if anybody wants to go through. Bill, any comments at all about this? Big.
You really know. I mean, it's real, like you said, it's really everything that we're going there. But with a Plymore combo, and I think people need to know that it's a 100-watt charger that comes with that. It's not the 250-watt charger.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think it has that parallel charging capability here. I'm not sure, but I think you have to get the creator combo to get that. I may be wrong. Our original Dobo or Russ or someone else may know that answer. But what I'm seeing there, it's a 100-watt charger. It's not the 250-watt charger that they said is going to do the parallel charging, because I think that's going to be real interesting to see how that works.
True. Bill, I'm going to let you address Richard's question here in the chat. He
Okay,
asked, because you brought this up in the pre-show. We'll talk about this now too.
I'm going to
Will
drop
tariffs-
this in the
will
chat
tariffs
right
being
here.
suspended have the basic Mavic 4 come in at $22.50?
Okay, I just dropped in the chat the trade agreement between the U.S. and China, and they just signed one. Means reciprocal tariffs between both countries will be cut from 25% to 10%. The U.S. 20% duties on Chinese imports relating to fentanyl will remain in place, meaning that the total, and it got cut, the total will remain at 30%. So that's what the tariffs are going to be. They're going to be 30%. So whatever price you think it was, I mean, this is good news because it's not going to be 145% tariff come tomorrow morning. Okay. It's only going to be a 30%, but 30% is still going to be a nice chunk of change. So
now, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole too far on the tariffs here, but so the 20% off fentanyl tariff, that tariff was there before the Trump administration, right? That's the tariff we've been living with for the last year, right?
Correct. That's already been in place for a long time.
So right now we're 10% extra added on what we were paying last year on the tariffs for the drones.
Correct.
Okay.
And I just dropped the link to the CNBC article in the chat, so you guys, everybody can read it. So,
hey, one more point that's important is remember that the de minimis tariffs are still in place under $800. So what I'm trying to tell you is, if you're going to order the drone, order all your accessories at the same time, so that you don't fall under that de minimis and get subject to those really high. The 30% that reverts back to the 125% or whatever it was.
Okay. I mean, it gets so complicated order because, like Bill always points out,
it really is,
especially with the drone, because they may slow the shipment down. But you have to factor in: do you want to take a chance on a slower shipment and not pay the tariffs, or do you want to get your stuff real fast and take a chance on tariffs? So it's getting too complicated just to order a drone.
Well, think about our friends that are ordering parts to build an FPV drone, and all of those come from China, Hong Kong, or China, or whatever. Yeah. And so they're often ordering less than $100, so they're paying exorbitant tariffs.
Hey, with that, with the tariffs, that's a 30% tariff, and then your tax too. So for me, it's 40%.
Well,
yeah.
What you get for living in Arkansas, I guess.
Oh yeah.
We got another question in chat here. Does the Mavic 4 Pro come with a standard ND filter? Fly Guy Merrill, if you ordered the basic package, I don't believe you're getting any type of ND filter at all. But we've seen leaked pictures where if you order any type of a combo, you get the old school physical filters for it. The rumors say that electronic ND filter will not be available on release day. Bill, is that your understanding also?
Yeah, it's going to be 30 days out before the electronic ND filters will be available. But if you looked at them, and what I showed on the show last week with Ron, they're like snap-ons, the filters, because we saw a picture of it. Jasper Ellens posted that last week.
Standard filters, yeah.
Right. With the standard filters. The electronics, they said that's 30 days out. So
yeah, I mean, and people that aren't big ND, like Marcus, he's not particularly a big ND filter lover or whatever. So he probably doesn't really want to pay $200 extra to get the electronic ND filter. He can just wait to have Freewell send him a free pack of the old school ND filters or whatever. So there is a reason. I mean, unless, again, we could be influenced. If that ND filter, electronic ND filter comes out and it looks like the bee's knees, the coolest thing on the face of the earth, I could change my mind real fast on that last statement. Hey, here's a little comment from our friend JAA. That's
Joseph.
That's Joseph from St. Kitts.
St. Kitts, yep.
And he says
Fort Lauderdale, actually.
He's actually lives in Fort Lauderdale, someplace
Fort
down
Lauderdale.
there. He was born in St. Kitts. But he said if there is an additional 30% on the already higher price of the Mavic 4 Pro, I am not getting it. So, but according to what Bill posted, there won't be an additional 30%. There'll be additional 10%.
Yeah, he's posted he said 30% on $3,100 is over $900 extra. So.
Oh, I get it. He's saying, I understand what he's saying now. He's saying 30% all added up or whatever. Okay.
Right.
So,
here,
right.
Let me ask you this: that 30%, that's going to stay there even after the deal's done. Do you think?
Well, here's the thing, DeMarco, what we haven't talked about yet, and it's a good point. Okay, when DJI had 20% tariffs off for most of the last year, however long they were on, DJI for the most part ate those tariffs. We didn't see those 20% tariffs add on to most of the products for the last year or two, or however long it's been on. But the question tomorrow is, will DJI eat this 30%, or will we see it tacked onto the price of the drone?
No, the reason why I said that, though, so let's just say that they strike a deal, then it goes away, and then like you got your drone there for 2 months, and you actually pay the extra $600 or $900 for it. I wouldn't be.
Will you be able to get a refund at that point?
No, probably not.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, you say, but what about 6 months? What about 6 months from now?
6 months from now,
everything's honky dory, whatever. We have the world's greatest trade agreement in place and whatever, and they take all that extra money off of whatever, and the drone's cheaper, but you paid over the cost.
I don't think it. Well,
I mean, we'll put it this way, DeMarco. Say you go, whatever, you go in I was at the sneaker store, right? You go in the sneaker store, and you buy a new pair of sneakers or whatever. I mean, the brand kind of just came out. You paid full price. You pay, $150 for them, whatever. But you go in a month later, they're already on sale. That guys buy that day for $99.99 or whatever. It's the same thing with the drone, right?
but here, let me say this: if it's $30, that's happened to me. Where I'm like, oh shoot, I should have waited, but not $900.
See what Bob Dempsey just posted. DJI has been currently paying the tariff of 25% in the USA. So,
but I mean, I understand what Bob's saying, but really? I mean, like for instance, the price of the Air 3S compared to the Air 3 went up very little, if anything at all. So where do we see the tariff come in? The minis, a lot of the mini, the new models come out, the price went up just $50 or $100, if even that. So we haven't seen a big jump on a lot of the DJI line of products in a while. Now, of course, here's what we all fear. We all know about the Pocket 3. I don't know why the Pocket 3 got the victim of this, but the Pocket 3 jumped from $529 to $799 last week. That's the single package. The creator combo went from $650. I'm making prices up to like $999 or whatever. So they saw the full brunt of the tariffs, and we know the Air 3S on DJI's website got marked up to like $23.99, but then on sale for $15.99. So it really didn't go up. It just made the point of showing that it went up in the tariffs. So I mean, this has been there's no predictability in this. Everything's very unpredictable. Marcus, you got a point.
Well, I'm looking up the history of the tariffs here. I'm looking at an article online, and they're saying that in 2018, in the Trump one, that's when the 25% tariffs first came in. So and Biden never took those off. So they've been here that
a long time, and we haven't seen a major increase. When those tariffs hit, we didn't see a price hike in the DJI drones when those tariffs hit the first time around. So they have been eating the tariffs.
Let me try to put this in perspective a little bit. Okay. I've been working in a retail environment the past, 10 plus years. Everybody gets excited, and my wife gets super excited. For example, everybody knows I work for the best grocery store in the United States, Publix. But anyway, everybody will get excited when they see the BOGOs, the buy one, get one frees. Okay. Well, and if you know anything about how that works, and I'm sure Ron probably does, because I know he's in retail. I know DeMarco was in retail. Okay. every prices on thousands of other items go up incrementally to make up for that. Okay. So Ron was just talking about like the Pocket 3, the pricing increase on that. Okay. And they may have raised prices on some other things. Maybe they're agricultural drones or, Matrice drones or something or others. Okay. To maybe kind of compensate for this so as to appear to us that these prices really haven't gone up. And it's kind of a shell game kind of a thing here, because that price is that price. And now they're just transferring it, the old saying, rob Peter to pay Paul kind of a thing. This is exactly what this is. It's just they're moving around. My wife gets real excited. Oh, ice creams, buy one get one free kind of thing. And I'm saying, yeah, but look how much the sauce is, or look how much this meat is, or whatever. Okay, the price goes up. So they're not they're not losing money on this.
Hey, real quick before we go, just a real quick, Marcus. Before we, I had Johnny Droneflyer and Ray Kelly have already been invited to the launch party tomorrow morning. So hopefully those guys are up. I hope Johnny's got an extra pot of coffee on, because Marcus is going to be getting up early, so he's going to need that extra strong. Go ahead, Marcus. I want to get that promo in there.
Okay, well, I'm just looking at the history of the tariffs here, and it says February 4th. That's at the start of the Trump administration. They went up another 1%. Another, 10%, I meant to say. And then April 5th, that's when he did the 10% tariffs on every other country, including China. And then on April 9th, they kicked him up another 74% on China. And then China retaliated on April 10th. And then we came with 125% total. So this is just clear as mud to me.
Yeah.
How do you total all that up to what's the total and what it's?
You got to hire your own private accountant. Jim Anderson says here the lower tariffs won't be in effect until Wednesday.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know about that.
I got another show for Tariff Nation.
You've got to be smarter than I am to understand all that stuff.
You be smarter than the average bear?
Well, I just found a webpage that just showed the history of all of it, and all the back and forth, and this gets rescinded, this gets added, this gets what is what? Who knows? If you're, I don't know. But like Bill said, CNBC said the total from China is 30%. So I guess that's where we're at right now.
Yeah,
30%. Whether that's starting with whenever, but it's 30%.
Our buddy Josh has a question in the chat here. He says that he means the tariff rate when he says it. Is it applied at the time of purchase or when it's shipped?
The importer pays it.
Importer.
So
that's all on DJI. So it's going to be when you purchase it. And I think if what Bob Dempsey said is accurate, and I think Marcus kind of confirmed that with that 25%, it would only be an additional 5% more if that's the case. So if it's 5% more of $3,000, I think most everybody can probably swallow that. If they really want to get this. If they don't want to wait. Now, everybody has the option of waiting here. Okay. Nobody says, some people may have FOMO, fear of missing out, but, or if you're actually in business and you're planning on using it for your business, you can always write that extra money off as a business expense kind of a thing. All right. Some people have to get it for their business. And I understand that, that's part of their business. But if it's optional for you, and if you want to wait to see how it plays out, wait. I mean, there's no harm done. It's not like, a week down the road, this isn't going to be available anymore. It'll be available. Think prices may go down. You don't know. We don't know that. So, I mean,
Bill Grace is saying.
Did you see Bill Grace's statement? Bill, he says, pay the price. You only live once.
Oh, yeah.
He's right.
Bill, that sounds like a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. So if the importer has to eat that price, has to pay the tariff, So those smaller companies like DroneWorks, will they be selling that? Because like they can't eat that. I mean, I
No,
don't know.
they can't.
for
No,
sure.
they'll have to mark it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, right.
yeah.
Yeah. No, they can't eat that. No.
Yeah. So if you're gonna buy it, okay, and this is just me, okay, don't get it through Best Buy, don't get it through Amazon, get it from the mothership, all right, because Best Buy is probably gonna tack something on, Amazon will probably tack something on, Adorama, B&H Photo, DroneWorks, they're all gonna tack something on. What these guys are saying is 100% right. If you're gonna do it, number one, do it from DJI. And a couple of points here, and I think Ron made a good point on this. Get all, and Marcus too, get all the accessories at once. Because I normally say, it's going to delay shipping. No, just get everything at once, put it in your cart, get it, and be done. All right. And the other thing is, you'll be assured of getting this, okay? Because these places like Amazon or Best Buy or B&H or Adorama, they may say it's on sale, but they may not have stock, okay? They may be waiting on stock coming in. Where with DJI, you're going to get a shipping notice in probably about a day that your item is shipped. I mean,
Okay, Bill, that's my next question to you. So I was recently at my local Best Buy just a few weeks ago. They had a DJI display, but talking to them, they had no DJI drones for sale. And the young man that I talked to, I can say that now, I'm an old guy. The young man that I talked to said that they hadn't had them for months. So will they have the Mavic 4? Will Best Buy have the Mavic 4 to sell?
I think, and this is just me, okay, because of they've had at least two major faux pas. I think it was the Mini 3 Pro was one where a guy had it the day before launch. He's holding his hand and he films a video, and I had him on the channel. We talked to him. It just, he couldn't, the app wasn't working because the DJI didn't release the app. I think because Best Buy has committed so many faux pas with DJI, I think they've been written off. I think the only drones that you can actually buy at Best Buy right now are Geek Squad refurbished DJI drones. I don't think you can buy straight up drones anymore because I've looked out there and they won't even ship them. Okay. They don't even have an option to ship.
Right.
So Bill,
you're right.
Why do the stores still have the big display case?
Display. Though? Yeah. That's and that's that's a great question, Marcus, because as and any of you guys know, being in retail, okay, that space is profit. Okay. And if it's taking up valuable space, it needs to get replaced by something. All right. Because that's eating up, people are walking past the display and I go, oh, those are drones, but they don't really have them. So that's a waste of my time. Why not have action cameras there or something or else there, instead of that? Because that's that's taking money away from Best Buy. It really is.
Of course, when you walk in a Best Buy store, a lot of them look like stores that are going out of business.
Yeah.
Well, there was a point in time with Best Buy that people were going to Amazon instead to, people would go to Best Buy to try something out, take a test drive, say like on a TV or like a Mac or, some kind of notebook, but then they would flip over to Amazon and go and buy it. Okay. Well, they said that trend had reversed where people were starting to finally buy things again at Best Buy, but I think it's heading back in the other direction now. And why, I don't know, but I think people are starting to do that again, to go into Best Buy, test drive something, and then go out to Amazon or another retailer and then buy it online.
Hey, Bill, John Flynn makes a good comment here, and I've heard this from other people too. The Canadian stores have all the drones, the DJI drones. This is only for U.S. stores that we're seeing this no DJI drones. So
yeah, and I think because what happened, these faux pas, and that's a good point, John. I think these faux pas, when they happened in the United States. And I think Best Buy in the United States has a black eye with DJI. And I think DJI has said, because I actually went in, and I think it was the Mini 3 Pro. It was a Mavic Mini 4 Pro. And I went in on a Sunday because it showed it was available at the store. And I went in to try to buy it, pick it up a day before the release. I think it was on the 10th. It was a Sunday. Monday was the 11th. And the store manager came to me and he said, I can't sell this to you. I said, why? He says, it's showing it's in. Well, it's in, but DJI will not let us sell it to you until the 11th. He was 100% strict about it. He said, come back tomorrow. We're open at 10. You can come in, walk in, and get it and be out of here in 5 minutes. But they would not, they were absolutely, totally refused to do that. But I think the problem was, like I said, they had done that too many other times, and they got a black eye for it with DJI. And I'm talking about, Best Buy United States, not Best Buy Canada.
Bob Dempsey updated us. It's nighttime. The older score first. So, well, good comments. Hey, listen, I want to move on to number 5 here. I'm going to go around the panel here. This is the opinion section of the show here. And we'll start with our honored guest, Bill, first. Bill, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. What are the 3 things, you don't have to come up with 3 if you don't have them, 3 things that the new Mavic 4 Pro can do for you that your current drones, cannot do?
Oh, wow. Wow. That's like, wow. Okay.
If you can't come up with 3, that's okay.
Okay. Well, one is this. I can have more creativity with my videos. All right. Instead of just,
because of the spin.
Right. Instead of, we're looking at the pool and all of a sudden the pool's upside down or the pool's flipped on its side, kind of a thing. And, whoa, I can make sense. You can be creative with things like this. You can make your own little movies. Okay.
Almost some FPV type shots.
Right. You could do things that'll blow people's minds. Like, how did you do that? You can't fly. I didn't know that drones will fly upside down. You could blow some people's minds literally from something like that. So, there's that aspect of it. The other one is the RC Pro 2. Okay. Being able to use that with an Air 3 and a Mini 4 Pro and now the Mavic 4 Pro, that's golden. That's really golden. The other thing is remember, and I've said this since day one, from the time the Mavic Pro came out to the Mavic 2 Pro, the Mavic 3, DJI doesn't waste technology, and every iteration has made significant improvements. All right. And we're going to see a significant improvement from the Mavic 3 Pro in terms of not only, I would say, camera aside, we'll see that LiDAR is going to be incredible. The obstacle avoidance will be astronomical. The runtime will be, just a few minutes short, on paper of an hour runtime with a drone. If you were to tell me that 5 years ago, I'd say, what are you smoking? Okay. Because that you can't fly a drone for an hour. The batteries will only go for 20 minutes. Okay. Here we are. We're like within minutes of on book or on paper of being able to fly a drone for an hour. So, and I think the other thing for me with this too is, I think it will give people just, some, having that vertical shooting. And especially, if you're a content creator, it's going to really help out. If you do Instagram, if you do TikTok, you can get videos out there for that. So, all told, I think it's going to, my big thing and my big takeaway is, and the reason I get so excited about things like this is the bump in technology is what we're going to see. And I'm excited about the RC Pro 2. So that's my 3 things.
Thank you, Bill. DeMarco, what are 3 things, or it doesn't have to be 3 that the Mavic 4 Pro will do for you that your current drones don't do? In other words, why you buying it? What's it?
Yeah, for what I use it for, currently watching baseball games and filming the kids and stuff like that. The flight time, the LiDAR, and then the RC Pro 2. I've got the first generation. So to see that screen lift up would be pretty cool. The LiDAR, I don't have the, what is it, Air 3S though. So, that's
the only LiDAR drone. Yeah.
Yeah. It's new to me. But, like with each generation, they get better. And it might not seem like a lot to someone if you were selling video or selling your pictures. They might not notice the difference between the Mavic 4 and the Mavic 3 though. But what normally happens is the user experience gets better each time.
So
True. Thank you,
Marcus?
Marco. Marcus, same thing. What three things will the new Mavic 4 Pro do for you that you don't get from your current drones?
Number one, no current drone that I ever have owned to this point has lightened the weight of my wallet as much as I suspect this will. So definitely, I'm not carrying around, my wallet won't be as thick. I don't have to carry around that heavy weight. So that's going to be something I'm looking forward to. No, but
your wallet will be under 250 grams now.
there you go, under 250. But seriously, I feel the need. I feel the need for speed. So it's going to be a fast drone. I look for that. Let's face it, it's all incremental improvements. Incremental improvements in the camera, the gimbal, the flight time. All of it is incremental improvements that all adds up to a hopefully better drone. The RC Pro with the 2000 nits is a big deal to me. I don't like wearing goggles. I was flying the Avata 2 the other day. I had fun. I enjoy flying it, but the goggles bug me. I don't like not having situational awareness. If I've got a 2000 nit screen, I would be a happy camper.
yeah.
Good comments. Good comments.
How about you, Ron?
I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but that gimbal seems really cool, but I don't know how much I use it my day-to-day type droning and work. But it's really cool. I mean, the extra say 9-10 minutes of flight time, it's always good, but I mean, I'm getting plenty of flight time out of my current drones now. And then they'll bump up in the camera specs and the video and photo are nice. I mean, it's a nice incremental update all the way around. I don't know, if I'm really going to be producing any better work with the Mavic 4 Pro than I am the current drones that I'm flying.
That's a good point, Ron.
Real estate photos and YouTube videos and things like that. I mean, outside of the Marcus' whole thing, I'm a drone enthusiast and I want the latest tech is the best reason I can give you. I can't give you a practical reason why it's a must upgrade.
Marcus had a good point with the 2000 nits as well too, especially for me down in Florida, because that it gets really bright in the sun here, and a lot of times when I fly, I'm sitting in the front seat of my car because I can't see out in the sunlight. Even with the other screens and the DJI ones that I have, I can't see in the sun, so I got to sit inside the car to do it. I won't have to do that with 2000 nits. I could stand out there now, and I like that.
Yeah.
Bill, if I could buy the car alone, have it work on my current drone, I may skip the Mavic 4 and just get the controller if it worked with. I could do that because it will work with the Air 3S and the Mini 4 Pro according to the rumor mill. So I could just get the controller. I wouldn't have to get the drone.
You could do that.
So a lot of this depends on the price, right? Listen.
Yeah.
If like Ron said, I think all four of us here were drone enthusiasts, right? We like the tech. We like to have the latest and greatest. However, there is a pain point on the price that can affect us. If I can buy this all in for $2,500, I'd probably do it. Mm-hmm. If it's $4,500, I can tell you I won't, because it just won't give me that big of a thrill.
Well, Marcus makes a good point here. Okay. And I'll say this, I know our friends out there like Original Dobo and Russ and everybody, they work with DJI to get theirs, and that's kudos to them. That's awesome, and they do a great job. All you guys do a great job with that. I'm looking forward to your videos tomorrow. But for like us, okay, we have to go. We're paying for it, all right, and and being able to justify that, it was a real, had to really, sometimes have to bite the bullet when you're buying some of these things. Now, Marcus made a good point. If this is going to be like $4,000, $4,500, that's going to be a really hard pill to swallow. And I don't think, and again, I'll go back to what I said earlier. If you're doing in business and doing this for your business, that's something that you could actually go ahead and purchase and then write that off on your taxes as a business expense. But for us, I mean, while we all love the tech, okay, my piggy bank only can hold so much money. All right. And I think a lot of us are probably the same way with something like this, is we can only do so much for something like this. But if it's in a reasonable price range, I think people will go out there and get it. And I'll be the first to tell you what I'm planning on doing tomorrow is buying like the drone and a battery and then getting the RC Pro 2 above that, and not getting that creator combo. Because I think, it's too much. I don't need I'm not going to need 3 batteries with this. I don't think a lot of people will need 3 batteries.
Even if the Pro controller is not available until June, if you could fly out your RC2 controller,
yeah.
If the Pro controller wasn't available until June, you want it now, it probably wouldn't sell it out of the car, so you'd have to get another RC2 controller to get it right away.
Right,
So
right.
That's another rub. Hey, Johnny just leaked the price of the Mavic 4 Pro, $25.99.
Dr. B just lives a couple of miles away from me. Maybe, Dr. B, maybe we can just split one. We can buy it and share custody. You have it 1 week, I'll have it the next week, that sort of thing. What do you think?
No.
So, yeah, and here, one more thing here. We're going to kind of wrap the show up a little bit early because we all have to get up early tomorrow for this little thing. And Marcus has got a double duty. He's got to get up early and then get packed up to leave for California. I want to go 6 here. The Mavic 4 Pro launches at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, 5/13/2025. In case somebody came in late and didn't get all the specs. And here's just a couple questions to throw. I'm going to just read through and then everybody can give their thoughts on any of the questions or all of them. Will its price be inflated by the recent tariffs? Well, we kind of already covered that. If anybody has any more thoughts on that, wait until I'm done and come with them. Will be available to order in the U.S. We didn't talk about that too much. And so we'll be able to pass through the customs ports like Customs of Miami. So even if you can order from the DJI and have it come to you in the U.S., we'll actually make it to your house. And then how many people will attempt to order it tomorrow? Do you think everybody's going to go gaga and try to order? Or do you think people are going to try to hold back? And no particular, anybody has any thoughts on any of this? The thing Tommy's actually brought up.
Depends on the price.
Pardon?
One of the things.
Go ahead, DeMarco. What about the price?
Depends on the price.
Depends
I
on
think.
the price.
Yeah.
Okay. Will it be available to order in the USA? The only blip on that radar screen that I saw, and this was from reading some things out there. If you go out to DJI.com, not store.DJI.com, if you go out to DJI.com, usually that teaser video is out on their everybody know, and I'm going to talk, web speak, the splash page, which is the entry page on there, and it usually rotates between 4 screens. The teaser video is not out there. Now, somebody pointed out to me it's on DJI forums, which is okay, but I had somebody email me from over in the EU and said it's out there on their DJI.com page. It's up there. So that's the only blip that I have seen about it not being available in the United States. I think it's going to be available. I don't think that there's going to be a question with that. I think as far as the situation with customs and everything, I think that's water that's already over the dam. I think we're good with that. I don't think we're going to have any problems with that. That's my. I haven't seen anybody, and I've been out there, and I get a lot of emails every day from everybody who flies, and I haven't seen anything lately about anything being held up in customs. So I think we're going to be good with that. That's just my 2 cents.
I mean, what scares people is they go to the DJI's website and almost everything says out of stock.
Yeah, you'll see that. But lately, everything's been in stock, so there really hasn't been a problem with that. So
depends on what day and what time you look.
That's true. That's true.
Marcus,
or day of the week.
I forgot the question already, Ron.
Any of them. Will price be inflated by recent tariffs? Will be available to order in the U.S. Will pass through customs.
It's a crapshoot.
How many people are going to try to order it tomorrow? Do you think people
So-
go crazy over it, or
It depends, just like whatever the price is.
Yeah.
Probably number one, but number two, the whole customs thing. I know, Bill, you say it's over with, but I also have talked to other people that are still struggling to get their drones. So I don't know, and I remember DJI recently said that they would not ship to the Northeast because they couldn't get it through customs, and I haven't heard any different since that announcement. So who knows? It is it's just a wild and wacky, crazy time right now with any kind of technology from China. So all these questions, I guess they'll be answered tomorrow.
they'll be coming to focus
And
tomorrow
as people
morning?
order them, as they hit the country, will they have them in hand or not? I guess we're going to find out.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get out of here, I do want Marcus to talk a little bit about. He put up a recent video where he flew his little hover drone in Tortola.
Tortola, yeah.
Tortola. And
Virgin Islands.
and he had a little faux pas with it. He was flying with the controller, I believe, and he took it out over the water, kind of like he was flying a camera drone, really. And he had a loss of signal. And most of us, most of us with DJI drones, we know that happens. It lost a signal, and immediately, it sits there for a few seconds, figures out it's lost connection, and then goes into lost signal, return to home. But Marcus had a couple of scary moments because it did not do that. It waited to go into low battery return to home. Is that correct, Marcus?
Yeah, it was interesting. And there were a lot of drone celebrities there that were right there with me at the time. But let me tell you what was interesting about that is often when you lose connection to a drone, you'll get a warning on the screen. You'll get that'll tell you that it's doesn't have a very good connection. You'll see those bars go down, etc. You get some warnings. You might get a little judder on the screen or something like that. There was none of this with that particular drone, and it really wasn't out there very far. I think it was out about 350 meters, about 1,000 feet, something like that. But it was there, and then it was not. The controller just said, nope, don't have connection with the drone anymore. So, I thought, well, this is not going to be that big a deal. It'll go into loss of connection, emergency return to home. And I thought on its way back, like we see with a lot of other drones, it'll reconnect. Then I'll get a connection again and I can continue my flight. So we sat there for a long time, and Bob Dempsey was there. Bob was asking me where it's at, and I said, I don't know, Bob. Barkley was asking 107 Drones. He's asking me, where is it at? I don't know, Barkley. Jenna Cook was there. Jenna said, where's it at? I don't know.
Approximately how far was it out at the time?
About 1,000 feet.
Okay.
Right? And so not that terribly far, but it's a little, the way the thing unfolds, it's not super easy to see. But in any case, I knew where it was. Like, I knew how far out there I was at. And it was just out over the bay. So as time went on, I thought, you know what, it's gone. Something happened. It probably, battery came loose or something. And I thought for sure it was probably swimming with the fishes. And about the time I was ready to just say, well, you know what, that's that, you hear the drone coming back. It was almost right over the top of us when we heard it, and it started descending. Now, I would have thought that it would have reconnected to the controller. At no time did it reconnect to the controller, even as it was coming down. And I was standing on a it was kind of a little patio on the end of this restaurant,
like an upper deck of a restaurant.
Yeah, and there was a railing there.
Yeah,
and I'd launched it just this side of the railing. So I thought, well, this is great, and you can hand catch that drone. Super easy to hand catch because it's in a cage. Yeah, it's in a cage, so it's not like it's going to cut you or anything. As as it's coming down, I'm watching it, and it was just out of reach. I was trying to reach over the railing there and couldn't get it. Barkley, man, he ran down the stairs, ran around, and he caught it before it landed in the sand. Caught it in his hand. So all's well that ends well. That was an interesting little.
And just to back up a second, typically with a DJI drone, even if it does lose connection, starts flying back, once it gets in good signal range, it reconnects again.
It reconnects,
full control again. Isn't that true, Marcus?
Yeah, and that was kind of my point. This did not do that. So those were the two things that I thought were unusual about the situation. It did not do a disconnection return to home. It returned on a low battery return to home. You know, that algorithm knows how far out it went, and it's going to come back. And then often when the drone, as it comes back, will reconnect, right? Didn't happen. So those two things were unusual. Yeah. So Bill Grace, it did. So I actually have the video of it. And when I edited that video, I cut out a lot of dead space, but it's really cool. You see the drone, it's just sitting there, and it's taking beautiful video of the island and the blue sea and everything. But yeah, it was just sitting out there being patient, so.
It looks like Tom's ready for it tomorrow. He just got a new city credit card with a promotional $300 back if he spends $1,000 the first 90 days.
Hey, there you go.
Tom's ready.
All good.
Maybe Tom needs to send those credit card numbers to us, right, DeMarco?
Please do.
So, I mean, it's 10:15. We usually go to 10:30, but because we have to get up a little early, I think we'll wrap this up a little bit early tonight. Marcus has some packing to do. I'm sure, Bill has some stuff to do, and DeMarco's always got get those kids tucked in or whatever. So, any final thoughts? I'll go around the panel. Bill, any final thoughts for tomorrow morning?
Couple things. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, we're going to do a recap of things, and then what Ron and I will like to do. I would Marcus and DeMarco, you're welcome to join, but I know Marcus, you're going to be traveling tomorrow. And DeMarco, if you want, I'll drop you a link. You're welcome to come in too. What I want to talk about is the videos, and Ron and I, I'll spend like the afternoon, part of the morning and afternoon.
It'll be like a film festival for us tomorrow, right, Bill?
Exactly. And, we'll steer you in the right direction, for the videos that we thought were very beneficial to us. So stay tuned for that, because I got a lot of positive feedback from doing that after last release. So we're going to make sure we do that. Also, as an FYI, a week from Tuesday, it's going to be a rebroadcast of an episode with Rick Smith. FYI for everybody who won't be watching Rotor Talk tomorrow night, I'm having major dental surgery this Friday. I'm going to have the rest of my teeth extracted and going to have 6 implants on the bottom, 5 implants on top. I've gotten, I have everything down pat, and everybody has said, I've been out on several implant groups on Facebook. They said, totally prepared for everything. Going to take some kind of pain medication every 6 hours. I got a headband that has ice packs in it. So, and it's going to be applesauce and mashed potatoes and Jello and Gatorade and, like popsicles and ice cream and sorbet. That's going to first 2 days. They don't want you to eat anything hot. So then after that, I can start having things like broth and other things. And, gradually what they do is they'll put in temporary teeth. It looks like the real ones, but the permanent ones don't go in until 4 months because they want to allow the implants to adhere to the bone. So, and everybody's told me, said it feels like it's 5 minutes, because I've had teeth out before, and it literally feels with that twilight sleep. It's like that you feel you're out, and then next thing you know, you wake up and you're done. But everybody has said, that I'm super well prepared for it. I'm going to sleep in the recliner to prop myself up. So appreciate any positive thoughts or prayers on Friday.
Bill, it'll be a while before you have a P-sub, huh?
Yeah, it'll be a while. And I'm getting my fill of potato chips in this week as well, too, because that's going to be a long time for that. So, but
I'll be thinking about you,
Bill. Dr. Joseph has some advice for you.
I have Tylenol extra strength. What I'm going to take are 4 Advil liquid gels at 200 milligrams a piece. This is what my dentist has prescribed. and then after that, a 500 milligram extra strength Tylenol, and then after that, 30 minutes later, I have some hydrocodone with acetaminophen. That's going to be my routine every 6 hours, and I'm going to set my timer on my phone every 6 hours. Take meds.
Bill, look at this comment from Joseph. I have the same thing done with bone grafts, extractions, implants.
So you know exactly what I'm talking about, Joseph.
Joseph's been
right there.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to being able to eat it, much better and be able to smile. I've been able to smile the last 2 or 3 years.
It's
been a real kicker.
Yeah,
but
get your life back. Really.
Yeah, exactly. So I appreciate any positive thoughts.
Thoughts to parents on that, Bill.
For sure.
Yeah, Bill.
DeMarco, any thoughts for tomorrow morning or
no? I'm busy, but hopefully I'll pop in for a minute though. But Marcus, just buy 2 of them, please. Well, here,
do everything.
Marcus, here's my order. Get the RC Pro 2, 3 batteries, and then in about 2 years I'll buy it from you. Then
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we'll see. I'm not going to commit one way or another. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. So yeah, and if it looks like it's something that's going to be in stock, I may not get in any hurry. Right? We're taking off on vacation, so might just wait till I get back before
have it shipped to Arkansas.
Yeah, well, before I punch any buy buttons or anything. So yeah. I like DeMarco, but do I like him $4,000 worth? I'm not sure.
I don't like my kids $4,000 much.
Yeah. And my thoughts are anything around $4,000, I'm out.
Oh.
And Bill, you'll be in our thoughts. So
thank you.
Glad that you're getting resolution on that. Finally.
What's going to be real interesting though is because Florida won last night and the series is tied at 2 games apiece. They'll play Wednesday, but they'll also play Friday night. So I think, and from what everybody said to me, said you should probably you'd be more than with it. So I'm going to be on my recliner watching the Panthers win on Friday night. So,
or else or get your old VCR out and tape it.
Yeah. No, I think I should be good. I'll probably sleep in the afternoon and then have my applesauce. Valerie was amazed. Like I bought like 6 huge jars of applesauce. What do you eat? I said, that's my food for now. Okay. That, and I got Jell-O. I said, that's going to be my food for the next foreseeable future for the next.
How's that about frozen yogurts?
I have sorbet. I have 6 containers of sorbet. I got 2 gallons of Breyer's vanilla ice cream. I have like 8 containers of Jell-O that I'm going to make. I got like 6 things of broth there. I have tomato soup. So I'll be good.
Yeah.
It's just going to be, what's going to really be nice though, is Valerie's going on a real strict diet right now. And she couldn't eat like normally anyway. So timing is like super perfect for all this to happen. Yeah. Plus so this doc.
Yeah. You'll lose a few pounds. That'll be good too.
Yeah, I will. I'm not going to complain.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Good night. Thank you very much for joining us. See you in the morning. And on the panel, I'll send you guys all the show link. Now, I didn't want to send you 2 links at the same time. When I get off here, I'll send everybody the link for tomorrow morning.
That's good, Ron. Take care, everybody. See you tomorrow morning.
Thanks for joining us, everybody in chat. Good night. Let me hit that M button. They're leaving. Mark, he left before I hit the M.